All right. We will now get to some NFL talk. Looking at the playoffs, but before we get to that, a couple of our wives have made us
we got
some sort of a drink.
Nasty drink concoction.
I don't know what it is.
Looks like something. It's got pulp in it.
There's orange juice in it, or some sort of. We don't know what's in this drink. We are going to try it.
This one doesn't smell as bad as
not as bad as the battery acid we had last time.
And then at the end of the show, what is in it will be revealed.
Pretty sure I know what's in it, but it's okay.
Well, it's got pulp. We know that.
Yeah, you guys
All right.
All right, here we go.
That one's not bad.
That's not terrible.
I might drink more of that.
No, I might have to keep this closer.
Yeah,
your wives were trying to poison me this time.
This one's not bad. I might hit that up for a second.
Put some ice on it. That'd be all right.
That's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I like it.
I'm curious to see watch it be like something real nasty and raw.
We like it.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, we will get to some NFL playoff talk, and I'll kick that over to James for that.
Yeah, I'm watched most of these games. I missed the first part of the Houston game because I had other stuff going on, but not the outcome I was expecting from this game.
Me either.
The Chargers were absolutely flat as all get out. I did not expect that out of them. Houston put up a massive showing defensively. Mm-hmm. D'Amico Ryan was rocking, watching his defense do that.
Yep.
So, impressive showing from Houston. I don't know if that lasts against KC. I really don't.
Well,
but out of anybody left,
yeah, it would be Houston. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if Chargers have a better chance versus KC or Houston. Other than Houston just being a little
Chargers would, but
Houston's hardly ever made it past the divisional round.
They've never been an AFC title game.
So,
no.
I mean, they might be a little bit amped up for that, but Chiefs are so.
And you're going to Arrowhead, and it's going to be flipping cold.
Yep.
I mean, looking at the game, I mean, Chargers did get out to a 6-0 lead.
They did. Right out the bat, they came out, they scored.
And then just kind of looking at scoring drives, then the next time.
Go time of possession.
Chargers.
Can you find time of possession or no?
I got it. Houston had the ball for 35, and Chargers had it for 25. So 10 more minutes of possession time
for Texans.
Yeah, and then you look at it.
Does that break down by quarter?
I just have it overall, okay. But you look at the total yards. I mean, Houston had 429 compared to 261. Big thing I look at right here. Herbert turned the ball over 4 times. Now Houston turned the ball over 3, but Texans capitalized.
Two of Herbert's were late game, like bad turnovers, like picks. They were not even close. So I don't.
That's forcing the ball.
Yeah, he was trying to do too much. He knew they were behind, but it definitely showed through with some of the decisions he made. I don't know what's up with Herbert. He's kind of odd because early in his career, he looked really solid, like he was going to be one of the best quarterbacks. And he's kind of taken this lull over the last few years. Now, I think that changes with Harbaugh coming in.
Oh, big time.
I think he gets him kind of back on track. But I was really wondering if we would even hear about Herbert being someone again, like 2 years ago. I thought he was going to kind of fall off. Last year, he struggled immensely.
I think the thing that would really help the Chargers, and we can do a top 10 NFL draft pick show, maybe, but I think for the Chargers, one thing that would really help them, they need... I mean, J.K. Dobbins is fine, but, man, I think you need a kind of another running back to kind of help set that tone a little bit.
I mean, they had Eckler not that long ago.
He's not there anymore, though.
Yeah,
I know, he's
Washington.
and
so let's go get that kind of
Chargers,
running back.
Chargers have J.K. Dobbins, and they have Gus Edwards. They have both of them.
Yeah. But Jim Harbaugh is going to be successful.
This is what I was looking at here. Uh-huh. So, in the first quarter, Chargers got a field goal.
Yep.
Time of possession was 5:23. Texans took the possession and fumbled it. They had 7 yards and 9 seconds of possession.
That's great.
Then Chargers got another field goal, 2:53. Texans 5 plays, punt it, a minute 37, and then Chargers had again for another 2:23. So Chargers over quadrupled Texans' time of possession in the first quarter. I mean, absolutely. If you turned on the game at the first quarter, and then you might have turned the game off at the second quarter because you were like, this is pathetic. I'm just going to watch the Chargers run all over them.
Right.
So And then it went punt, punt, interception, interception, punt, punt, touchdown by the Texans right at the end. Punt, field goal, and then end of half. So it's still, if you were watching, like I saw the score, wasn't watching the game, turned the game on just after half, and the score had not changed. And I was like, I missed like 10 minutes of playtime. What happened? So it was very boring first half. My wife's a pseudo Texans fan still, but
she hasn't fully converted yet.
No, she still has a little love in there for the Texans. So
easier to be a Texans fan than Bears fan right now,
I suppose. She's watched them get to the playoffs almost every year, playing in the worst division in the league, and then watch them lose.
Now, I will say this to kind of wrap it up. I mean, C.J. Stroud played pretty well, but that's a whole different ball game there in Kansas City.
Yep.
Because it's going to be Houston's going to Kansas City, and then Baltimore's going up to Buffalo. That'll be a really good one.
Yep. Yeah. The Baltimore-Pittsburgh game was not a surprise to me. I figured,
boring as heck.
Yeah, I figured Pittsburgh was going to struggle again. I don't think. I mean, they beat them in the regular season, but it's a totally different Ravens team than what we saw.
And let's just be honest here. The Ravens have one of the best offenses. They got Derrick Henry. They've got Lamar Jackson. They've got some great receivers. They got Mark Andrews.
I mean, at one point you had Lamar Jackson with 10 carries and like early second quarter and like 58 yards, and you had Derrick Henry with like 11 or 12 carries and like 68 yards. Yeah. So between the two of them, they had over 100 yards by the beginning of the second quarter.
Yep. No, 21-0 at one point for Baltimore, and just
at halftime
kind of zoned out. It was like, it's over. Russell Wilson's not going to do anything.
It was 14-0 at halftime for Baltimore.
Sour Denver fan.
It was tough to see Pittsburgh be that bad. I wasn't expecting them to do anything. They did manage to score a couple touchdowns.
Yay.
Basically garbage time, but it was pretty well what I expected out of that game.
Yeah, I mean, kind of previewing a little bit. We're not doing a preview this show, but honestly, the way Kansas City's kind of played all year, I think either Buffalo or Baltimore can beat Kansas City in the AFC title, because right now, prove me wrong. There ain't no way that Houston's going into Kansas City and winning. There ain't no way.
So unless it's something crazy like they did to the Chargers, where they forced some bad interceptions. It would have to be
like a defensive performance of a lifetime.
It's not going to be a shootout.
Or somehow C.J. Stroud and these wide receivers just go crazy. Those are
the problem. Is he's missing his biggest two targets. So I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I don't. Joe Mixon's good. He's really good.
Yeah.
So that is an advantage, I think, to Texans away from the Chiefs, is the run game. Your running backs there. But so I just think if it is going to be Houston winning, it's because their defense shows up like they did against the Chargers, and the Chiefs just straight up can't do anything. So, which I'd love to see. That's fine. Buffalo Denver game again. I was not surprised.
I'll take this one. I called this one in our preview. Thought Denver would do something, but in the end, it was going to be a blowout, and that's what it was. Really exciting to start. Denver long pass to the Oregon teammates for a long touchdown, and after that, close. We pulled the Bears, doink to the end of the half field goal. And sorry, Jim.
I don't know. I got a double doink on
so. You're better than us at doinks. That's fine. But Buffalo went right down the field, and we held them to a field goal, but you knew Buffalo was just going to keep coming. They just kept running the ball.
Yep.
Denver, we led the league in sacks this year. Josh Allen didn't have to drop back and pass that much.
And what really showed through strongly to me is the difference in experience. You saw the inexperience of Bo Nix. He hasn't been in those high tempo, high pressure situations very often. Josh Allen's ready for it. He wants this really badly.
Yep.
They've gotten to the playoffs too many times and not been able to show up and
finish.
Or finish it.
Yep.
So I think they're just ready. They're amped up. They're ready for this.
This is the year of Buffalo.
Ty Johnson looked really good.
Yes.
It was an impressive showing from them. Expected maybe, but an impressive showing.
I think it was expected, but Buffalo can win the whole thing, no problem. Now, can they beat Kansas City in Kansas City if that comes to fruition? That's one thing they haven't been able to do. Just like the Packers beating the Niners in the playoffs, they can't finish and win and finish the game. We'll say this though, as a Bronco fan, you should be really excited. Bo Nix finished the year with 30 passing touchdowns. had a chunk of rushing touchdowns, and Denver ate $90 million of that $120 million dead cap. Mm-hmm. So now they can have a lot more financial wiggle room. They have tons of cap space. Yep. They can really build a really, really good team. And this team's already pretty good. They're not great, but they're pretty good.
Yeah,
they
I
can
think you
build
need a
on
little
that.
bit more on the defensive side to kind of...
More rush, more stout in the rush game. Yeah. But overall, I think I'm really excited.
I mean, 210 rushing yards for the Bills. That's
not good.
That's not good. You're looking like the Bears over there. What are you doing?
No.
Hey, who's in the playoffs and who's not?
No, 210 rushing yards for the Bills.
No, I understand that.
That's really good for the Bills.
Well, no. What I'm saying is it's bad on the defensive side for the Broncos, and that's why I'm saying that the Bears are...
They get more stout.
Back to the Bills side of things, if you're looking at beating Kansas City, run the ball.
Yeah, run the ball, yeah.
Control tempo.
Keep Mahomes out the field.
That's how you do it, and if you can run the ball effectively like that, and I think that's what almost makes this Buffalo team different and this Baltimore team different this year. If you're talking about beating Kansas City, can you control the time of possession? Can you run the ball effectively and keep Patrick Mahomes out the field? And I think these teams have the keys to do that.
Yep. And defensively, both these teams are way better than they have been.
And that's your key to being able to finally get over that Kansas City hump in the playoffs.
Yep.
Well,
and
I mean,
this is off track, but I just was thinking about our
go for it. I love off track.
Our double doink as the Bears fan. So the Panthers, I only like Adam Thielen on that team. Don't know why.
Like Bryce Young?
Bryce Young's okay, but I have a little thing against the Panthers, and it's that they signed Eddie Pinheiro. And so I just am wanting him to fail.
You sound like a Packers fan cheering against the Jets.
So anyway, that's
a lot more.
Every time he goes out to kick,
Packers
I'm like,
thing.
please doink it,
just to prove your Bears fandom, right?
Yes, just to prove that he sucks. I don't know.
3 more games going on. We'll see what happens in the NFC side, but at least want to get some NFL talk in.
I mean, as of right now, Eagles are up 16-10,
and they're in the red zone.
Yep.
Nope, should be.
I will say Jalen Hurts, not having played 2 games, he looks pretty well like himself. I'm pretty impressed to see him come out and.
Packers aren't ready to. They're not ready to win and advance to the playoffs yet. I think they give them next year. I think they can at least make the NFC title next year. So it just depends on how Jordan Love develops. They got to get better receivers too.
Yeah, they need better.
Christian Watson, him being hurt, that doesn't help him at all. But
Jaden Reed's okay. They're young.
They need a true wide receiver one. I don't think they have that on the Green Bay team right now.
Well, and the Packers are not going to be a team like years ago where the Falcons traded away a ton to move up and get Julio Jones, who will be a Hall of Famer one day for them. I don't believe the Packers. They don't like chances. They're not going to move up so many spots to grab Titaroa and McMillan out of Arizona. No. You know?
That's how you say it.
Is it?
Titaroa and McMillan, yeah. Learn his name.
So, no, I think it'll be an interesting game to see how this one finishes out.
Jim, we got a few more minutes left. Let's see. I'm going to do a quick preview of the last 2 tonight. Commanders, Bucks, Vikings, Ramblers. Give your quick opinion on it.
Well, Commanders, Bucks, I think is going to be one of the better games of the weekend.
Here. Can't wait.
Because you have such I think, even matched teams there. Like when you look at them, you have the stout defense of Washington, but you've got the inexperience on the offensive side.
Yeah.
Whereas you have kind of that experience on the offensive side with Tampa Bay and like Mike Evans,
and they're at home too.
Yeah, and they're home, and Baker Mayfield I think has got a little bit that he's trying to prove here and kind of.
He's underappreciated.
Well, he's always come in and been that guy that's like, I'm going to prove everybody wrong because everybody thought he was garbage and at the Browns and they gave him away. And he's kind of bounced around a couple teams, and now he's at the Bucks, kind of saying, "Hey, guess what? I am something." And
I've got the Bucks in this one.
Yeah, I did too. I picked the Bucks. I think it'll be a close game, and I think it'll come down
your
to
experience for the Bucks probably helps him in this game.
I think so.
It's a very inexperienced.
I think it comes down to the decision making of Baker Mayfield. If he doesn't make the dumb passes,
good Baker.
We need good Baker. Yeah, where he runs 10 yards and puts his head into somebody and fires everybody up a little bit. Like he does that. He wants that contact and he looks for that. And when he gets to that side of him, that's when he plays well.
Yep.
He's a poor player when he backs off pressure, when he runs away, when he scrambles. He's got to play with that little extra energy in that. And I think Jaden Daniels is a quarterback that we're going to see for a long time in the league. So
him and Bo Nix got some battles between those two for a while.
Running out of time. Quick pick: Rams or Vikings?
Because I don't want the Rams to win, or because I don't want Vikings to win, I picked the Rams. But
who's your pick?
I think it's a struggle.
I want to pick the Rams, but I'm going to pick the Vikings. Now, here's the thing. Does it really affect not having the home game in Los Angeles with the wildfires of being down in Arizona?
I think
Is
it's
it really
a little different, but the Cardinals did go and pick up the Rams, like their whole team, family, everybody.
That's good of them.
And flew them in. And,
That's good.
And let them use their facilities this whole week. So I do think that takes a little bit of the I don't know. It does. I don't think it affects it as much because nobody's worried about their families right now. Nobody's worried about that. They're all together. They were there early, so they can kind of settle in, get the facilities set up, things like that. So
All right.
maybe a little bit, but I don't know. It's still pretty close.
I got Vikings.
Yeah.
Okay.